So what exactly is the Bantu migration? I'm glad you asked, curious YouTube viewer. The Bantu migration is basically a movement of people groups in sub-Saharan Africa that went on to define their languages, culture, and religion. Make sure to hit subscribe and also click that bell icon so you never miss a new video. To back up, this group of people lived in what is present-day Nigeria, Cameroon, and they were pretty skilled people. They could farm, use stone and iron tools, and likely had knowledge of this technology that originated from the Phoenicians, who only created the alphabet and some of the most ancient writings, so not a whole lot. However, most of the time, the Bantu people farmed not to trade, but rather just to live off the crops they grew. Then, one day, one guy was like, "Hey, I wonder what's over there. Anybody want to go check it out?" "Nah, I don't want to have to go farm somewhere else." Except for this group of people, and they were like, "Yeah, let's bounce." They also could have left because of local resources were exhausted, people were too close, not enough food, disease, people fighting over resources, or fighting in general, or just wanted to check out something new, which is what I'm going with. You may be thinking, okay, how can you be sure about this? Well, we can infer some things through the languages, tools, pottery making. Yes, I said pottery making, and how similar they are with others in the region, and the people came to a fork in the road. Some of them were like, "Hey, let's go left." "No, let's go right." "I said left." "No, right." And then they left, except for those people that went to the right. Those that went to the left, they went to the Valley of East Africa in what is current-day Muslim-dominated population, but that would come later because Muhammad wasn't even born yet. But the other group decided to go to the right and went down to the southern West Africa, and these people were discovered by David Livingstone, and hence a Christian-dominated southern population. Oh, and by the way, Jesus hadn't even come at that point. However, Israel was just leaving Egypt and getting started in the Holy Land, so they were getting things underway in that region of the world. So they were called Western and Eastern Bantu, respectively. Then, after a little while, about 1000 BC, people came to a fork in the road. Some of them were like, "Hey, let's go left." "No, let's go right." "I said left." "No, right." So, once again, they went their separate ways. However, some refute this and think that instead of over long periods of time, these groups actually, while originating from the same spot, spread out quickly. UNESCO says this: the main expansion of the Bantu was fast and fast, that's with a V and with an F, respectively. Not a series of gradual stages, as some have argued, but it was a matter neither of purposeless nomadic wandering nor of organized military conquest. It was a remarkable process of colonization in the true sense of the word, the opening up of essentially empty lands. As the people of the Bantu came across were still in the Stone Age in terms of weapons and technology, the iron weapon migrants with their specialized warrior caste had little trouble imposing themselves wherever they went. Their superior technology also encouraged local peoples to accept Bantu leadership. These guys come in and say, "Hey, we're laying down the law. We are the Bantu people." So some groups did resist this wave of Bantu culture, such as the Pygmies. Ever heard of them? Well, they retreated into the depths of the Central African rainforest and also are very small people that cap out at 5 feet tall. So they really looked up to the Bantu people. However, some of the other Bantu groups came across groups of savanna hunter-gatherers, the Sand people, who likewise retreated to the inhospitable and less accessible environment of the Kalahari Desert. You can learn more about the history of Zambia and how the Sand people were involved in the territory of Zambia in my other video. The Niger-Congo languages is the third largest language family in the world by number of native speakers, comprising around 700 million people as of 2015. Within Niger-Congo, the Bantu languages alone account for 350 million people, or half of the total Niger-Congo speaking population. The most widely spoken by total number of speakers is Swahili. The language of Nyanja is from the Bantu language family, and every language in Zambia also comes from this parent language. So if you travel to different parts of Zambia, you can hear some of the similarities in the language, such as the greeting, "How are you?" in Nyanja, "Muribwanji," in Bemba, "Murishani," "Muribwanji Murishani," and even to say "Muzwira Shwani," Those are all greetings from 3 different languages, but all saying the same thing. How are you? And that is because they are all part of the Bantu language family. If you want to learn more about how to speak Nyanja, make sure to check out my other videos, and please make sure to like and subscribe. Tazawanana.